Happy Friday. Welcome into First Pitch, WagerTalk's premier MLB betting show for Friday, July 15th. I am Drew Martin, joined today by Dave Koken and Tony Finn of WagerTalk.com. We got 3 games on the slate. We got best bets at the end. Getting after it, guys. In the AL East, we got the Baltimore Orioles and the Tampa Bay Rays. A lot of cross currents in this game. We got the Baltimore Orioles, first team in 130 years to win more than 10 games in a row the year after losing 110 games in a season. So heck of a trend there for the Orioles. But Dave, coming to you first in this one, at the same time, we got the Tampa Bay Rays winning 9 straight home games over the Baltimore Orioles. So cross currents here kind of reminds me of the stock market right now. We get Wells versus Patino, minus $1.25 here. That's the Rays as the home favorite, 7.5 as the total. You liking anything in the trop tonight, Dave?
Well, look, I mean, the Orioles are the talk of baseball right now, along with the Seattle Mariners on these tremendous winning streaks. But very quietly, Tampa Bay, despite the fact they've got numerous injuries, they just completed a sweep with the Red Sox. They've won 4 in a row. So you got 2 teams in very good form here. The pitching matchup, Wells on the mound for the Orioles, an interesting guy because he's gigantic. He's 6'8". He's got long stride. So even though he's not possessing a huge fastball, it looks faster because it's, the guy's halfway to home plate by the time he releases the ball. But he's still a guy who has occasional command issues, and he did have them in his last start. So we'll see if that carries over. Patino finally getting back on the mound for Tampa Bay. He has been way more hype than substance, really all along. I mean, this is a guy who, if you look at him, it's like, great arm, got good stuff, but it has never really come together for him. And, of course, I don't know how long he's going to be out there tonight because this is his first appearance in 2022. I think the over might be in play here. Both teams are hitting the ball pretty well right now. Obviously, they're winning baseball games. I'm not really enamored with either pitcher. So I think my take here, it's not a play for me. I've got 2 games tonight. This is not one of them. But my take here would be on the first 5 to go over with Wells and Patino on the mound.
Okay, good start here, Dave. We got the total sitting at 7.5, Tony.
Yeah.
One thing to Dave's point, 17 players on the IL for Tampa Bay. They're leading the majors. That's not really a stat you want to be leading the majors in, but banged up is kind of an understatement. He talked about the starting pitcher here, Patino, called up from AAA Durham. I don't know. It looks like a bullpen day almost for the Rays, which might not be a bad thing. What are you thinking tonight in the AL East matchup?
Yeah, very well could be. There's a couple bullpen games tonight, at least 2 games I think are dead set on being starters or opener games. And I might be mistaken, because I trust that Dave's he's on top of it. But I have this being the first start for Patino, but I think he made 1 appearance like for 2 outs, I think, against Oakland. I might be mistaken, but I'm sorry?
I said you might be right.
Yeah, either way.
Hasn't started yet this year.
Yeah. Either way, I agree with Dave on that. How long is Patino going to be in? How sharp is he? He wasn't very sharp in that first, at least from what I remember reading, was 2 outs. Essentially, it was like a 1 hit, 1 run, et cetera, et cetera. And a game that they were way behind. So that said, respect has to go to the Rays. You guys both mentioned the injuries that they've dealt with and some of the hurdles that they go through every single year and seem to overcome. They mentioned they swept a 4-game series against the Red Sox. This after being swept by the Reds, which is baseball, right? That's Major League Baseball. That's 6 wins, 7 games against Boston. They look like they're going to go and break second place, guys. Second place is. I never imagined that would be the case a month ago when they lost Wander Franco. And I thought when they lost Wander Franco again, here we go again. They're going to go into a pit and feel sorry for themselves a little bit, but that's just not the case, at least not so far. This is a game I don't have any action on, as Dave said. However, I sure am watching the Orioles because it's nice to see a team that has been for a handful of years doing as well as they are. It's fun to watch.
It really is. And talk about, the AL East overall, guys. I mean, all the teams 500 or better are over 500. It's in the playoff hunt here in the AL East. We got next game up heading to the, not as good AL Central, but still competitive division here. And this is a competitive game. Chicago White Sox here, Tony, at the Minnesota Twins. We get K-Pitch versus Smeltzer. I'm seeing the lefty going for the Twins. Looks like minus 135 to minus 140. That's Twins as the home favorite. Tony, you liking anything 8-10 Eastern in Minnesota?
I'm not. Yes, I do. I like this game, and in fact, I have a position in this game, and it's on my card, so I won't go into it and extend the show because of Tony Finn any longer. I was very close yesterday to playing the White Sox. I like the way they're playing. I like some of the things they're doing, guys. I really do. However, my dichotomy between Cueto and Gray was a little bit too severe for me to jump on the White Sox at the price they were yesterday, and but maybe it's not so far. I mean, Sonny Gray, really, I like Sonny Gray. He's had a good season. If you look at his peripherals, his percentile among the league leaders is very good. Cueto, we know, a little, long a tooth, but he's performed pretty well for these guys. So that said, the Twins bullpen, don't trust him a bit. I would say this. White Sox, that 12-2 win yesterday, picked up a game in the ALC standings. They're 9-6 over the last 15, one game short of being 500 again. I think this is a series that we should watch and pay attention to, and I do have one position on this game tonight, and it's absolutely on the side of the Chi Sox.
Okay, looking towards the Sox here tonight. Dave, throw it over to you. This is my best bet. Interested in your thoughts.
Well, actually, I have two plays tonight. They're both totals, and this is one of them. So I'm not going to talk much about this game. If you want to get the totals tonight, I have two of them. Best bet winner last night on the Mariners and Rangers first 5 over. And I've got two games tonight. So normally $29 for the package, but the half price thing that's across the board at WagerTalk.com right now, it's $14.50. You'll get the total on this game and a total on another game. As far as the side is concerned on the game, I don't have a play, but at this point I have to lean in the White Sox because they do seem to be putting it together to some extent. And the Twins, let's just say I don't have a great deal of trust in Smeltzer. I think there's regression coming with him. So you might have gotten a pretty good clue as to which way I like the total on that. But I'm not going to actually say it. But I would lean to the White Sox to win the game.
All right, guys, we got one game left. Best bets at the end. Huge shout out to the chat box. David, Have Cash in the house. Neek the Exotic, welcome on in. Eduardo as well. All you guys. Jeffrey, Joshua, thanks for joining us live. Let us know what you're looking to bet in the chat box. Some guys saying towards the Orioles on the side. Maybe in this total, the White Sox and the Twins. It's my best bet. We'll get to that after hitting the nightcap here. Dave, we'll come to you first as we head out to California. Milwaukee Brewers, San Francisco Giants, Brandon Woodruff versus Alex Wood. Total of 7, minus $1.25. Dave, last night, 3-2. Milwaukee won a one-run game. And actually, want to throw out this stat, Dave. 19 one-run losses. That's first in Major League Baseball, tied with the Marlins and the Rangers. That's how many one-run losses the Giants have had. You can see it in their record there. Minus 130 looks to be the Brewers as the road favorite. You liking anything in San Francisco tonight, Dave?
Yeah, I guess I lean to the Milwaukee side because, let's just call it straight. Whatever went right for the Giants last year is kind of not going right for them this year. They've had some injury issues. They have just not gotten the clutch hitting that they'd got last year. And look, they overperformed last year. I don't think there's anybody who's going to rationally argue that point. So they've kind of swung back. The pendulum has a tendency to swing back the other way from one year to the next. I think that's happening with the Giants. The Brewers, they've got some flaws. There's no question about that. But the top of their rotation with Burns and Woodruff, it's dynamite. Woodruff looks to be okay. His base numbers aren't sensational. I'm looking at them right now. I mean, slightly over 4 ERA and on the road a 5.63 ERA. But as I pointed out many times, I really don't use ERA to a great extent. I prefer some of the other analytics that I think give a truer read on how a pitcher's performing. And on those numbers, Woodruff has been much better both overall and on the road. As for Wood, you never know what you're going to get. When he's got his command, he's pretty good, and he does seem to be in decent form right now. So I think he can make a case for the under here. But if I were going to play this game, I'd look for the team that's not going well to continue to not go well, and that would be the Giants. So I would lean to Milwaukee here. I'm not going to play it. I don't want to lay that much of a price on the road, but opinion is on the Brewers.
Okay, looking towards the Brewers. And Tony, coming to you next, Friday night nightcap. What are you liking in San Francisco?
I would agree with Dave. I mean, last night's game was a game that I gave out as a free pick, and I actually gave out San Francisco because of some of the peripherals and the matchup, et cetera, et cetera. When San Francisco holds their, this would be obvious for some people, but they hold their opponent to 2 runs or less. They're 16-6 still. After last night, they allowed 3, lost 3-2, but I thought it was a good matchup. Burns, Rodon. Tonight, Woodruff and Wood, there was some early movement, guys, on Woodruff overnight, but it's come back a little bit, and which surprises me. I would have thought that, with if Yelich is back, and I think he'll be back, you see another move maybe on this to go back towards the Milwaukee side. And the fact that Devin Williams will probably be unavailable after pitching 3 straight days. Hader should be available. Long story short in this one is that this San Francisco team isn't as good defensively, and they have some holes defensively. And it's just dominoes on them. It's always just dominoes. Had they not they're 20. I think they've won 22 games come from behind after the 6th inning on. So they're taking advantage of some bad bullpens, and that's not necessarily the case with this Milwaukee Brewers team. I don't have a play in this game, but if I was going to lean, I would lean, as Dave did, be Milwaukee and Woodruff.
Good stuff from both Tony Finn and Dave Koken. Guys, if you're liking the content, please smash that like button. Also, let us know below in the reply section what you're betting tonight, where you agree, where you disagree, and any questions towards handicapping, towards really anything to do with the slate and baseball here going forward as we head into All-Star break. Feel free to fire away in the reply section below. We'll answer them on the next show, I guess late next week for First Pitch. So, guys, we got best bets coming up right now. I'll lead us off, heading to the second game we talked about, AL Central matchup here. We get the Chicago White Sox, Minnesota Twins, and the total of 9. I'm looking to bet this over. We get K-Pitch on the hill, and the White Sox have won 3 straight games. They're getting healthier. They're seeing the ball a lot better. And he's pitching here. He used to throw 95 miles per hour at the beginning of the season. Now his last time out, he was throwing 92 miles per hour. And just looking at how he's come into this year, if you remember in 2019, he had Tommy John surgery. In 2020, he opted out due to COVID. And then 2021, he pitched out of the bullpen. So his innings, he's already up to what his innings were last year. And seeing the velocity come down, I'm actually going to look to bet the White Sox over the total as long as their lineup stays healthy when he's on the hill. So first time up doing that is tonight. We get a total of 9 against the Twins. I'm betting it up and over the total, White Sox and Twins tonight for my best bet for the show. Throw it over to Dave Koken. Guys, check him out, WagerTalk.com. He's got a best bet winner last night on the Seattle Mariners, Texas Rangers, first 5 over. He's up and available at WagerTalk.com, the #1 MLB handicapper since 2019. Dave, throw it over to you for best bets and final thoughts for the show.
Yeah, you mentioned the 2 games that I've got up. If I were going to play a third game, it would be one we talked about. That would be the Orioles and Rays to go over in the first 5. Wells has done a good job this year, but again, I pay a lot of attention to the analytics, and he's a guy who I think is going to regress in a negative fashion. I think he's gotten by in the first half of the season, but I just watching him, I think his size is huge. I mean, he does have that long stride, but his stuff is it's big league average. Patino, I don't trust at all. I don't know how long he'll be out there, but he's just never lived up to billing. So I think you got 2 hot teams, both swinging the bats reasonably well. I think you can make the case for this one to be put some runs up on the board early, and I'll go with the first 5 over. I want to stay away from the bullpens. The Orioles bullpen has been outstanding. The Rays bullpen is a mix and match. but Cash does that better than anybody, and I don't like getting involved with their bullpen. So I'll make it a first five opinion on the over between Baltimore and Tampa Bay.
There it is, guys. The Friday show from Dave Koch. And we got Tony Finn as well. Tijuana Tony by some. Guys, check him out at WagerTalk.com. He's got his Friday night lights on the diamond play. Tony, what, you got a 4-game card going tonight? Half off as well.
Yeah.
What do you got for final thoughts and your best bet for the show?
I'm gonna a spinoff of First Five show today, which I had an under in the Seattle and Texas first five, under 4, a little juicy 4, I think minus 15, 20 at some locations. The overnight move, the money move in this game was a little surprising to me when you have a Cy Young winner going against basically an opener for the Texas Rangers. This game it's dropped as much as 20 cents at some, pardon me, at some locations. Again, which is a little surprising since mid-June. He surrendered 4 runs on less than 20 hits, 18 hits, I believe, and less than 39.2 innings of work. His ratios, 46 to 10, 46 to 11 K to base on balls. And yes, the Rangers have been really good. Top 5 offense, at least surface-wise, against lefties, and one of the best in all Major League Baseball since the first or the end of May. But this isn't even Robbie Ray in a pedestrian season he's having following his Cy Young is not the run-of-a-mill southpaw. He's just not, and you can see that the way he's come back to form a little bit. And conversely, Matt Bush, listen, I think Matt Bush is a good opener. This is a guy that has the capability of striking out 3 in any inning. Right now he's about a 4-1 K to base on ball. A guy that made a comeback. He got injured. When he did finally come back, went through TJS. Really a guy that's almost kind of writing a script for a movie. But he's the opener tonight for Taylor Hearn, who had a 5.86 ERA, 5.91. I like the first 4 or first 5 under. However, I really like Seattle. This is a team who won 11 in a row. Pretty confident group. This is we're going to see some lazy play with the break coming up. I mean, that's one thing I think we should probably watch for this weekend is some guys are going to be taking it easy. I would stick with either backing that are interested in doing well, despite the fact that we got a break coming up, as opposed to those who may be sitting in the, basically being sediment at the bottom of the divisional standings. I like the Mariners tonight, and I like them minus 1.5. The Rangers bullpen's been overused. That's why I played the first 5 under in that game earlier today. I think that the runs are going to be scored in the second half of this game. But Marco Gonzalez, again, he beat negative regression somehow, some way last night and did well enough so the Seattle Mariners could come back and win that game 6-5. I like the Mariners again. 12th game in a row tonight, like them by more than 1.5 runs in Globe Life.
Good analysis there, Tony. Also liked your point there in terms of important games here down the stretch, guys. The teams that don't look good coming into the All-Star break, maybe look to fade them in the second half. Also coming out of the All-Star break, important couple games here starting this weekend. We got the recap there. You can see it on the screen. Best bet recap. White Sox Twins over 9, minus 110 for myself. We got Tony Finn, Mariners, minus that run line, plus 110. And Dave Kochen, Orioles, Rays, first 5 over 4, plus 105 price on that in the Trop. Guys, thanks for tuning in to the Friday show. Again, if you could please smash that like button and let us know if you're watching out there in the reply section below. Check out Dave Kochen, Tony Finn, and myself, Drew Martin, WagerTalk.com. Half off plays, guys, 5% as well. A lot of free plays up and available, and always check out the live odds screen, the WagerTalk odds screen, best free live odds in the industry. So thanks for tuning in again, guys. Best of luck with your bets. We'll talk next week, and thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the weekend.
send the handicapper of your choice for one whole day for only $39, including when they have a 5% top play that usually sells for $35. But during our 50% slash promotion, you get a one-day all access for only $19.50. We know this business is loaded with competitors and copycats, and we are very proud and extremely excited to be one of, if not, the premier sports betting information provider in North America. Our special discount pricing goes live on Tuesday, runs through the end of the month, does not require a coupon, and is available just by going to your favorite WagerTalk or Sports Memo Handicappers homepage right now.